Shaun saw this week because Shaun is the finder out of obscure tiny titles, usually British, that they seem to be trying to bury at the cinema. And this is Brian and Charles. So Shaun, tell me what this is about.
Okay, Brian and Charles. This is a British movie. It takes place in Wales. It's a Welsh village, and you've got this chap. He's really unassuming. He's he's very shy, but he's an inventor, and he invents these ridiculous things. And then one day he decides. It's funny you should say, like Ricky Gervais earlier on. It's a bit that way. It's a bit sort of officey type.
Yeah.
Type. But
I know the creator has worked with Ricky Gervais. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he decides he's going to create this robot out of a washing machine. Well, he goes to a fly tip and then he finds his head. Finds a head like you see the one in the background, or finds the head of this mannequin and decides that he's going to make a robot out of a washing machine and a few other electrical bits. And of course, it doesn't work. He switches it on, doesn't work. He goes to the village. There's this girl that sort of is really shy as well, but they really like each other, but they can't. They pass each other and have an awkward conversation in the street. Anyway. Storm starts. It's got electrical, and he comes back to his house and there's these lights going like, and he's like, oh no! And he goes in there and the robot's gone. He's going, oh no, where is he? And he comes back and the robot's in the cabbage patch. Anyway, cut a long story short, he takes them.
Does anybody at one point in time during this storm go, "It's a lie"?
Not at all. But it is a bit that way. And anyway, so he takes him indoors. He falls asleep and he wakes up and the robot's got, you can't really see it there with the glasses, but he's got like a blinking eye. He says, can you turn your bright blue light out? He goes, no, I cannot do. And he's read the dictionary. So this robot becomes sort of self-aware.
Yeah.
Through going through the dictionary. And it's great. Some of the things he says, oh, cabbage, but he loves cabbages. Cabbages are the thing. But so it's just, there's this cabbage theme that runs all the way through the movie. But obviously he doesn't want him to go into the village or anything, so he tries to keep him under. And the robot gradually becomes a bit like a stroppy child, Oh,
yeah.
And there's this horrible family in the village which are real bullies, and so a really nasty, horrible family that you find in a village, and they decide they sort of see the robot, take it away, and they're going to chuck it on a bonfire and all this. So it is. So that's basically the story. It's a friendship story, really, because they become really, really good friends, and he sort of becomes protective. And then the girl that I said was an awkward moment, they become a bit close, and the robot gets a little bit sort of jealous, shall we say? And he's like, oh, but the way he talks, this was such a good movie. It really was. It was one of those top great films, which I've no idea whether they don't go to other cinemas, because I know it wasn't on the Isle of Wight, but
yeah,
if this was, all right, some people don't like Ricky Gervais, and although it is that sort of style, there's enough in it to, I don't know, it's just fun. And the robot is, I don't even know who plays the robot, to be fair, but he's absolutely brilliant. And it's, even though there's no expressions on the face, there sort of is.
Yeah.
And I've got a little, the bloke, the bully bloke was really, really quite and his family were really, really nasty. And being a bully, he's obviously, the guy, the inventor, he's like, oh, I can't do nothing, because he's scared of him and pushes him about. But then he invents something at the end, so there's a bit of redemption there at the end, which is really nice. But yeah, it's a great film. Loved it, absolutely.
Okay, so Shaun, from what you said, okay, in the last couple of weeks, I'm looking at our history of films that we have reviewed. And in the sort of subcategory of films that Shaun has found that are not showing very, very many places, we have All My Friends Hate Me, Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, and now Brian and Charles. All British, all tiny, all with a very, very tiny cinema, and all of them have been good. So
they have been, yeah, terrific. They have been. This was just, you think because of my, like the stupidness of movies, how could you have like a big washing machine? Sort of that's one, but then, I've got a washing machine for my tummy, but it just works, I thought, I'm not gonna like this, but it was just so funny, and the relationship between them was really, really, it was just, they really, really liked each other. And when he gets sort of so even though there's no expressions on the robot, there is, or you feel there is, so Yeah, terrific. Really different, really unusual. Reminds me a bit, as I say, I think it takes a little bit from Frankenstein, the modern Prometheus
Yeah,
thing, and
yeah.
with the electrical start. And the cabbages are, it's like, oh, you stay here, I'll bring you some cabbages. Can I have a crinkly one, or can I have a, what? Anyway, yeah, terrific movie. Just trying to think, probably using our categories. It's a really, really strong 4-star movie. This really, really strong 4 movie. Really enjoyed it.
Really strong 4-star movie. So 4 stars for Brian and Charles. Because with this, I could say that it would either be so silly that it would drive you around the bend, Shaun, or it could be one that you actually quite liked. So
exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. I figured that it's a kind of film that I don't think it would be in the middle. You either hate it or you'll be like, "Oh, this is actually really good." Right. So if you can find a cinema, you can track down Brian and Charles. Find it. Otherwise, tell us what streaming service is going to end up on, because I never know which streaming service these things are going to end up on.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like all the different film companies and producers come up at the start. So it was Film 4, BFI.
Yep.
So I should imagine you're going to get it on Film 4 and amongst other places. So
yeah. All right, cool, good stuff. Oh yeah, it might be an awful. Anyway,